So, Jonathan, you were involved with the creation of the titanium caravan mover, right?
Yeah,
Well, that was all about developing a lightweight caravan mover.
yeah.
And now you're part of the team behind EMOVE. So, what's the story?
Well, eMove is not just about the weight of the caravan mover. We've also asked those questions about what are the rub points with existing caravan movers out there. And one of the biggest complaints we got is about that lever engagement system, where it actually levers onto the rollers levering onto the tyres. And what people found that it's okay if it's just one roller at a time, but when you're using that cross actuation bar to engage both rollers at the same time, that's when it really becomes a problem. So our solution to this was the easy wind system. We understand that customers want to wind both rollers on at the same time. They might not, they might be parked up against a hedge or against a wall, so they've only got access on one side. So with the easy wind system, we developed it using a worm drive system. So it just literally means you can wind it on or off in exactly the same way as you wind on the corner steadies of your caravan. The advantage, again, compared to, say, the lever engagement system, is you can actually make all those micro adjustments. So you can adjust for the tyre pressure, you can adjust for the pressure of the tyre or the depth of the tyre as well. All these things are just not possible with the lever engagement, which is simply either on or off.
In a never increasing automated world where we expect everything to be done for us as the norm, when can we expect the technology to be available to make the eMove fully automatic?
Well, that technology is already here, and it's simply just the press of a button, and then what you'll find is the mover itself will engage onto the tyre, and it knows exactly what it's doing because it's those pressure sensors in the mover itself which will tell you how far it needs to move on against the pressure, whether it's the depth of the tyre adjustment or the pressure of the tyre.
The weather being what it is here in the UK, how can we, well, for want of a better word, protect the way our mover looks?
How do you mean?
Well, if you look at other movers on the market, they tend to deteriorate much quicker than the rest of the caravan and frankly almost become unsightly.
So do you kind of mean sort of like surface rust on the caravan mover itself?
Yes, exactly.
Well, I mean, good question. If you think where a mover sits on a caravan next to the road, you've got all the tyre spray coming up, and it really makes no sense at all to have all that exposed metal work. So on the 300 series product, we've used that all-season cover, which really, really helps. It covers the whole body of the mover, which includes the motors and the engagement system. And it means you can simply wipe the mover clean. The covers are made from that strong, really strong composite material, and it means it even can take the odd stone deflection as well.
So we've established the movers are easier to use and nicer to look at. But what about if or when they go wrong?
Well, eMove is made by probably the world's biggest manufacturer of caravan movers, and they make movers for lots of other different companies, and so really they wouldn't have the business they have today if there were any problems or any worries about reliability. But say if something did go wrong, we've got that full no quibble 5-year warranty. And if the product's been fitted professionally, that means we'll even go out to site, whether that's home, whether they're on holiday or in their storage site.
Giving the caravaner then peace of mind.
Absolutely. But the real question should be, how do people stop having problems with their caravan mover in the first place?
Okay, so what's the answer?
Well, I mean, the biggest reason for customers recording a problem with their caravan mover is not the mover at all, it's actually the leisure battery. So we've included on our handset the diagnostic display, which tells the user when they need to recharge the leisure battery, replace the handset battery, or that the caravan itself is overloaded.
So how powerful is the eMove range of caravan movers?
Well, we never really want to overstate what our caravan movers can do. We prefer to be conservative because, let's face it, all conditions are different, from the surface to the gradient you're working on. But we wanted to see what it could do on a hard standing. So what we've done is we've tested the eMOVE 203, which is our entry-level model, pulling a 1.2 caravan and pulling a 4x4 weighing 2.6 tonnes. So we're talking well over 3.5 tonnes. And you can see the video now going up a levelling ramp.
So what are we actually claiming about our EM caravan mover range?
Well, if we start with the EM203, which you've just seen, we claim 1800 kg. But that includes all conditions, so it could be sand, gravel, And really, overall, what we want is our customers to be surprised by what our mover would do. We don't really want to overstate the gradient or a particular weight of caravan we can move. But just to sum it all up, the EM203 will move any UK single axle caravan. Our EM305, which is our top of the range, that will move any size weight of UK twin axle caravan.
So what about the weight of the EMOVE Caravan mover? How do they compare to other movers that might claim to be the lightest? And by that I mean, what does the complete unit weigh, not just the separate components that other caravan mover manufacturers state?
Well, let's just say the EM305, our most powerful caravan mover for heavyweight twin axle caravans, weighs almost 2 kg less than perhaps a certain other caravan mover you're describing. And we achieve this through extensive use of composite materials, which we use throughout the eMover range.
So finally, to sum up, what is the most important thing about eMOVE Caravan movers?
Well, that's simple. We just want really happy customers.